Now, everybody watching on YouTube side, there's a lot of rogues in this arena. But my chat said let him play. So normally we have a rule of only 2 of each class because watching rogues stealth each other for hours and a half can be kind of boring. But the chat is saying let him play, dude. So, you know what? We're going to let him play as the chat demands it. We got a demoniac back in there with Sip and Glue. His name is Sip and Glue. Oh, no. With how easy rogues burst is nowadays, Sip and Glue doesn't seem like... It just feels... I don't even know how to explain it. Eventually get hit with a big cut shot. It's going to be tricky for eventually a little bit late. Is that going to be Shadowy Duel? Shadowy Duel for Sip and Glue as eventually trying to get some damage back to it. Shadow Strikes are flying for both of the rogues. Evasion for evasion right now. And eventually without a trinket, as Sip and Glue got himself a nice setup with a blind. On Glue's team, we got ourselves also Zodian. We got ourselves Fat Lol, as well as Monkey Flip. Let's go with big old Sip, big old Sap, big old Sip. On to Vinci without a trinket. I think it's probably gonna be lights out. Also gotta give him credit, man. That Mog gonna be a cheap shot. Shadow Strike not going for the go. It looks like Vinci is actually giving a fear. I think Sip and Glue was expecting a big AoE fear from Vinci. Gonna be immediate trinket. Vinci going for advantage. Gonna be advantage out of Sip and Glue as well, as both the rogues get a shield. On to Vinci, we got ourselves Tay on the mage with also Palm Tree. Palm Tree, because I love the way that guy looks. Palm Tree, we got ourselves Rosie, but of course Vinci out here live still right now in JPC, the fake JPC. Sap onto Sip and Glue. Did Sip and pick up an eye? I think he picked up the eye. The eye looks like it's down. Vinci actually got himself a bit of a shield too. Gonna go for the opener. Big damage onto Sip and Shadow Strike's flying big eviscerates. I think he might have it with a cheap shot. It looks like Vinci does take him out. Next up, it's gonna be, I believe, it is yet another rogue. Lots of Necrolord rogues, by the way. Demoniac up next. Demoniac a little bit behind on gear, as he said, but might not be that far behind. Vinci to his left. Does he see him getting sapped up? That's a bit unfortunate. However, Vinci does not have a trinket, so he still could be in pretty decent spot. Kidney shot onto Demoniac. Does go for a shadow step. Kidney shot onto Vinci. Being an orc, he's not gonna sit that stun long though. Vanish for Demoniac to go for a Shadow Strike. That's a bit of a ballsy move. A Vanish Shadow Strike. Was he trying to go for like a big go or something? I'm trying to understand here. Eventually he's going to be able to get a sap. No trigger for Demoniac. With not having a lot of gear, I think it's probably going to be done here. Massive fat eviscerate there for Vinci. Does get the cheap shot off. Big AoE fear for Demoniac with a blind. Wait, Necrolord Rogue seems kind of OP. You get a fear. He got himself a reset. Vinci does have a trinket back up. So Demoniac, if he's careful, he might be able to play around the trinket. Vinci does not have a blind for a while. So Demoniac is not completely dead. He still has defenses, evasion available still. Get a shot onto Vinci, expecting the trinket any moment out of him. Trying to max out the damage here. Marfa Eviscerate, gonna be a kidney shot onto Demoniac. I don't know if he has a fear backup. Vinci also has a fear, busting through the damage on Demoniac. Vinci's AoE fear though does get procced, however. Let's just go for a bit of a reset. Next up, it looks like it's gonna be Zosidian? Zosie? Maybe? Maybe not? I think I'm trying to figure out who's next supposed to be. I think it is Zoe though. Maybe not. Is it Monkey Flip? Is it maybe Fat? I don't really know. Looks like it is gonna be Monkey Flip versus a Vinci, dude. He's gonna have that fear. So Monkey Flip better be careful because rogues can literally fear you when they get low enough. Actually can fear you. Gonna be a trinket for the monk as Vinci snaps yet another cheap shot onto him. Disarmed by the monk, looking to get aggressive. And Vinci still holding on to that Necrolord shield for a little bit. Legacy by Monkey Flip, trinket for Vinci. And does go for advantage. Shield still holding. His Necrolord shield, it is still holding. That was a bitter burst for Monkey Flip with a sap and Zuen and everything. And the shield still holds. That is just so unfortunate. It looks like Vinci is not going to waste too much time. Kidney shot onto Monkey Flip, trying to make big damage happen. Huge eviscerates, taking him out. Didn't even stand a chance. Being an orc too, didn't sit and stun for too long either. And Zoe is going to be up next, dude. Vinci, my man. That's another guy who has had a lot of growth. Vinci used to pop into the duels, did really well generally, really good at rogue. But I've never seen him like just one-shot people like this before. Zosie going in for a bit of a breath into a poly. Trinket not available for Vinci. Does have a clicker shot. This thing's really good dire. That's going to be blind onto Zozie. Trinkets out of it, trying to make some damage happen to Vinci. Not popping off combustion, just trying to get the dots burning on him, letting that mastery do work. Vinci looking for that reset. The images are attacking Vinci for a second. At least we're starting a cast, but couldn't get one off. Yo, those images, dude, that's some like demonology warlock AI kind of deal going on. You know what I mean? Vinci skulking behind the pillar. We're only hitting the 5-minute mark right now, so not really super high dampening. Vinci could honestly make this a really short game for a sub rogue, which we really shouldn't be surprised about at all. The images know he's there. Big blink for Zozie, getting out of the stun immediately. If Vinci is playing 100% crit Lego, he's denied the 100% crit setup. That's going to be shields hitting Zozie's shields. I'm not letting Vinci get the big setup. Not at all. Is Fat still here, or did Fat just bail? Oh, it's just down to Zozie. Wait, oh no. I guess Fat didn't want to have a chance of losing it to Vinci. Is that what's going on, maybe? I'm guessing. I actually have no idea. Maybe you just had a random DC. Super for Zozie, though, you got to hold down the fort, my guy. Got to hold down the fort, my dude. Vinci got himself flesh cut behind the pillar. Plenty of absorbs. Going to be Ring of Frost on one side. Zozie might be able to find him on the other. If you can just reach him with an arcane explosion, looks like Vinci going to go around the other side, getting the sap off. And Vinci's a little bit behind on health. Not playing the big heal while in stealth. It doesn't look like. Zozie does have himself a blink out of that cheap shot. Kidney shot out of DR. Does lock it down for a second. Vinci needs just a bit more damage. Got the spikes available back to back. And Zozie is going to be able to burn through a bit of that Necrolord shield. Vinci just trying to make sure he's next to Zozie when the damage comes out. Looks like Zozie, the mage, is Kyrian. So he does have himself sippy cup by the looks of it. But he hasn't been able to go for the big Kyrian setup just yet. Cheap shot is going to be an ice block. Getting the defenses one by one. And eventually just to get the ice block, that needs to get the cauterize out. Then he'll be good to go. What's up, Briggs ass? How you doing, my man? Hope you're having a good one, my dude. How's it going? We're getting some NA duels, my guy. Getting some NA duels, dude. I know you see the Kren's pin at the top. But if you slow down, I'm down for you, man. Never against it. Get a shout into Zozie. Eventually try to make some damage happen. Is he playing the crit leg or is he playing the rotten? I really cannot tell. It really could be either or. You know what I mean? Trinket for Vinci could put Zozie in a position where he could make something happen here. No cloak. It is going to be short, very, very short. The cheap buy still goes through the advantage. Meteor does still collapse on Vinci. I think he mostly avoided it. But it's still plenty of damage from Zozie for now. Still holding on to cauterize. That is going to be the alter time if he needs it. Should be able to get himself alter time and get out of there. But the cauterize still gets procced. Alter time, I guess, didn't happen at the right time. Eventually does go for a battle match trick and increasing his own health. If he can get himself a reset, I think he's got himself a guaranteed win. If Zozie can somehow keep him in combat, then he'll be maybe in an advantageous spot. Shields it back up. Blinded to Zozie. No trinket available. And as long as Vinci does not make a misplay here, Zozie does hold on to a blink. If he plays his cards right off that blink, he'll be in a good spot. Vinci does have a Cloak of Shadows, pretty big shield, which is going to hold him off. Doesn't even need healing, really. As long as he has the shield, he'll be okay. Blink by Zozie. Shadow Step, Kidney shot by Vinci. Can you make the damage happen here? Cheap shot. Breath by Zozie. Ring of Frost. He is alive. I'm surprised he actually didn't get frozen immediately. Does have a cloak if things really go bad. Does have a cloak. Meteor comes down. Does still have a shield. Cloak of Shadows. There it is. And I think Zozie might be down for the count unless he somehow has something, anything at all. Breath on Vinci for a second. Kidney shot all the time. And down he goes. We only had one person missing for that duel as the other rogue DC'd. Maybe it was AFK. He didn't look like he was moving too much. But he does seem like maybe he DC'd. Either way, boys. There we go, boys. There we go.